Other items of business discussed in last night's regular session of the Paintsville City Council, including proclaiming November Chris Stapleton Month. I'll get to those items later, as well as coverage from last night's Johnson County Fiscal Court. Tonight, though, will center around two second readings, if you will, in the Paintsville City Council meeting of ordinances pertaining to annexation, two separate areas of Johnson County that some of the council and mayor was proposing to be annexed into the Paintsville city limits. Quite possibly 200 people from the community and maybe even more in attendance at last night's regular session of the Paintsville City Council. The topic of annexation largely due for that turnout. And actually there were two discussions, if you will, pertaining to proposed annexation by the city of Paintsville and the council and mayor. The first was a brief discussion about an annexed portion of Johnson County, some 332 acres, give or take, in the Jennies Creek area. This is not the most recent annexation proposal, but one that has been discussed by the council for quite some time, and one that passed by a vote of 4-2 last evening.
It's an ordinance annexing territory being generally bounded by and in the general vicinity of US 23 in the area of Jennies Creek. Whereas the territory annexed, consisting of approximately 332.079 acres of land, more or less, in the general vicinity of and being generally bounded by US 23 in the area of Jennies Creek, which territory is identified on the attached map marked Exhibit A.
That parcel or parcels of property making up that more than 300 acres lying near the area of the intersection or junction of 460 and Route 23.
Bill Nye.
Yes.
Tommy.
Yes.
David.
Yes.
Jim.
No.
Sarah.
No.
Sean.
Yes.
Motion passes. Annexation is completed.
The second agenda item dealing with annexation was the second reading of an ordinance declaring the city's intention to annex certain unincorporated territory containing about 259 acres being generally bounded by and in the general vicinity of U.S. Highway 23, Kentucky 1428, Kentucky 321, and Kentucky 1825 in the general area of Hager Hill. Mayor Bob Porter prefaced that second reading with a statement about what it takes to be a great city with all the elements of service that should be provided to its citizens. He also did so by calling out unnamed county officials and then calling upon the city council to do their duty.
I, for one, find it troubling that elected county officials would pit the residents against one another by making inflammatory comments about the city in an effort to appease those who are most vocal opposing annexation. If some county residents are annexed into the city, they are still county residents, as we all are. As to the matter of annexation, this process has taken place many times in our city. Commercial growth takes place just outside the city limits in order to take advantage of the city's population base as well as the city's services without being taxed. If there was no benefit in being near the city, then the business owners would place their businesses in remote areas within the county where land is cheaper and plentiful and there is less likelihood of annexation. As those areas adjacent to the city fill with business, then annexation occurs. Without annexation to bring developing areas into the city, our city would likely be 4 or 5 blocks in the downtown area, and the growth we have seen over the years would never have occurred, and the services provided by the city would be non-existent. I'm aware of many erroneous and outlandish claims that have been made by a few individuals who will be affected by the annexation, and I would hope that each person investigates for themselves. I'd also like to ask that each council person support growth of our city through future annexation. As any city must grow or become stagnant and eventually die. Each of you was elected to do what is best for the city of Paintsville, and you should fulfill that duty. With all that being said, I believe this annexation needs further study, and I would suggest that we table the issue at this time and for further consideration at a later date. And I'd like to ask council for a motion to do so.
Well, before you do that, these people, some of them they haven't gone to work today. They're taking off work. Some of them's got babysitters. We have already publicized this, and they are here. And I don't think they need to have to wait on this.
We got it on the agenda, we got a forum, so why we take it? What's the reason?
I move we vote for it.
There's already a motion on the floor and,
No, there wasn't.
yes, there was.
Why don't you listen, Sarah?
Did somebody make a motion?
Bonnie,
I'm gonna make the motion, we table it.
I didn't hear a motion before.
Excuse me, I stand corrected. And to some degree, I think the folks,
why are we tabling it?
I think the folks are getting what they want.
Yeah. Well, why are
Yeah, but they're not getting what they want because you're not telling them why you're taking it.
Yeah, why are we tabling it? Let's
Let me say council people. I would suggest that y'all run for county commission because you have no business on city council. I have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
A motion for what? To
Table this item.
When did you decide to do this? One of your secret meetings you've had over the last 2 weeks?
Come on.
You have secret meetings.
to do it in secret. I'd like to ask you.
No, you can't, he's not doing anything wrong, you can't make him leave. We're allowed to be here.
Mayor Porter, the residents of Hagerhill have collectively asked
Tell me how
to
you have the
speak.
right. Tell me.
Because that's the law of the Commonwealth.
We have the right to
Show me. We want to speak. Show me.
The residents of Hagerhill and the business owners have asked.
When we get finished with this, we'll let you.
Thank you.
Have a right to get up here and
Why this do like you did the tax
You have to get recognized. He's conducting the meeting.
Right here, girl, I asked Virgil for 1 hour to be put on the agenda for us.
Come on, y'all. I mean, you can't get what you want.
Well, you're the one who wanted to vote on it, don't back me on it now because we're against it. If you want it, then go for it.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
I'm sorry, but you're not in control of this meeting, and, you're not either. City council will make their own decisions.
See, we coming out of the county trying to grab us. We don't want to be part of the city limits.
Would you want somebody to come into your living room and change the channels on your TV?
Absolutely.
Would you want somebody pulling your flyers out of your flyer pot? This ain't Walmart. You can't walk around and pick and choose what you want. We're not going to have that.
Don't have a second reading. In order to have a second reading of an intent to annex ordinance, you have to give the persons that the statute requires notice, you gotta give them notice, just like you did this time. If you're saying, if there's a motion and there's, to table it, and you're not gonna vote on it, you don't vote on it.
Are you gonna send us another notice?
In order to have the second reading, there would have to be notice, just like the last time.
Then why not go and do it now?
This is the second reading.
What do you want to do?
I think the mayor said he wanted to study the proposed
Why do you all do the
annexation.
study before you waste all the money with Focus Engineering doing all the surveys?
The reason we're not going to do much discussion on this thing is because we're not going to listen to a bunch of people yelling.
We're gonna do it all over again. Yeah, you make the speech
We have a
first.
speaker we'd like for to be heard.
Yeah, we have two actually.
What's the pleasure of the council on taking the vote, voting on the, is there a second?
I made a motion. I made a
We have a
motion.
second, we have a motion.
We table.
But I want to know when we table it, what we're going to do. Are we going to amend it? Are we going to do something different? Or is
We may never do anything.
it
Well,
may just be
they have a right to know.
They need to know what.
They need to know what's going on.
If after further study, we feel like there's a need for it to come back up, we would give you notice. Otherwise, it wouldn't come back up. Okay?
The last day, you gonna give us the notice the last day?
Yeah.
Everybody show up, that's the way you do it?
No, ma'am. Well, notice is
Still people in
required.
this room that's on the list and still haven't gone already.
You can't answer one person, everybody else does.
Well, why can't we let our two people speak? Please speak, let
The
them
notice
speak
is
to the
required
council.
to be at least 14 days prior to the meeting.
And with that and some other discussion, a motion and a second to table the vote on that second reading of that said ordinance came to the following vote, a 3-3 tie, with the mayor breaking the tie.
Roll call, please.
Bill Mines.
Yes, table.
Tommy.
No.
Dave.
You know what mine is, it's not good.
Jim.
No.
Sarah.
No,
Sean.
We have a 3-3 tie. I will vote yes to break that tie. Do we have anything further to discuss?
And with no more official business from the council or mayor, a resident affected by the annexation, Tanya Sloan, spoke before the council and the audience, saying that she was asked by residents and business owners to voice their collective opposition to the proposed annexation.
First, we want to let it be known that we are not opposed to the growth of Paintsville. Many of us have been strong advocates for tourism and economic growth of our area, and many of us have strongly supported the city school system, as well as businesses in this area. Our vocal opposition is not a personal reflection of the City Council or any of its members. We're proud residents of Johnson County, and we're concerned with the welfare of our residents and our businesses in these difficult economic times. We, as an overwhelming majority of the residents and business owners of Hager Hill, strongly oppose the proposed annexation for the following reasons. We do not believe that the residents nor the business owners will benefit from the annexation. We're already adequately served by the city water and EMS services. We are adequately served by the West Manlier Fire Department, and we strongly oppose the additional taxation that will occur without added benefit to the residents. We see living in the city limits as a choice, and it's one that we did not make. Many of the homeowners have validated that the cost of their insurance would greatly increase. And the businesses have also validated that their insurance costs would rise as well. The employees of these businesses would also bear an increased tax burden, which would negatively impact the families of those employees in these tough economic times. We have businesses in the area that have vowed to relocate and leave our area if this annexation passes. We strongly oppose Hager Hill being annexed as a business district, which limits our autonomy over our own property and homes. Work to be done on our homes and in our area, such as additions, may be denied due to being deemed a business district. And skipping over some prominent neighborhoods in the area, you've chosen to tax some of those who may be struggling just to survive.
Time to wear a jacket and a tie. That's been narrowed down to just trying to put on a dress shirt. And days like today, well, just enough time to be behind the camera. Regardless, I'm so glad and privileged and blessed that you could be a part of the program. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for more of Your News Today. Catching up on a lot of news, well, that's a daily thing. But find out what that is and what you may miss if you're not here. We'll see you then. For now, thank you for watching and have a good night.